is good.
I don't know why it's not there, but it says the stream is good.
Ooh.
So I can't tell you what's going on.
Oh dear.
It says we're on.
We're supposed to be streaming.
We're supposed to be.
Now
We
it
should
says,
be.
Now it says an error occurred.
Oh no.
According to this, we're streaming.
Nandish is waiting. Oh.
What shall I tell them, Jay?
I don't know what to tell them. I'm totally confused.
Oh, look. I think we're there.
There you
we're
are.
live.
We're live.
We're in China.
Okay, everybody, we're going to start the show now. I can't understand what went wrong there.
What happened?
It's a total mystery to us. But I'm so glad that we seem to be streaming now. If you can see us, please say hello in the chat.
Please say hello.
Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Vicki, and I'm an English teacher. And with me is Fluency. Oh no, it's not Fluency. It's Christina. Christina is another English teacher. Welcome, Christina, and thank you for joining us on the show today.
Well, hello, Vicki. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm so happy to be here. Finally.
Something very strange happened. We had a message from YouTube saying an error has occurred, and we weren't streaming, but here we are. So you don't know how I got to Paris, but I wonder if Jay can show you.
I can. Stand by.
Oh, fantastic.
Stand by for just 1 second, and here we go.
How are you going to get me to Paris this week, Jay?
I have a magic skateboard. Hop on.
Bonjour, ça va? I'm here. So that was how I arrived in Paris today. And that is where Christina is. Christina,
Yes.
tell us what you do in Paris.
So what I do is I teach English, of course. I mostly teach business English. Of course, I have a YouTube channel also, which is Speak English with Christina. And I also have online courses.
Okay, now you say you teach business English, and in fact, a lot of my life as an English teacher, I've spent a lot of time teaching people who needed English for their work and their career. So business English, if you like. And I wonder if you can tell us if business English is different from general English, from normal English. And if so, how is it different? And maybe some other people have some ideas on this, and they can tell us in the chat as well.
Yeah, that's a good question, Vicki. I don't think business English is a different language from normal English, but definitely when you're using English in a business context, the stakes are different. You know, there's a lot of money perhaps at risk. Maybe you're deciding who you want to work with, if you want to sign a contract, you're trying to find a good client. So the stakes are different, the context is different, but the language is the same.
Yeah, and I think, what about vocabulary? Because that can be a bit different. There can be more technical vocabulary sometimes, can't there?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Of course, you need to know the jargon for your business, for your industry. You have to know the vocabulary, but also you have to know the things about register, like polite register, being direct and indirect, and these kinds of things, because like I said, there's all of these stakes that are in your different situations, and that can be really delicate sometimes for learners because they know the words, but maybe they don't know the connotations or if it's direct, indirect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got some people here in the chat. Shall we have, I'm going to have a quick look. Cecile
Yeah.
is here. Cecile, great to see you. Julio is here, and he's from Brazil. And I wonder if there's anybody here who's learning business English. Do tell us in the chat and what your job is as well. And if you need English in your job. We've got Nandish here. I think he's from India. And we've got Andrea here from Fruili. Fruili. Where is Fruili, Andrea? And Cecile has said perhaps business English is a little more formal than general English, than normal English. Is that true?
I think there are maybe more contexts where you need to be more formal, perhaps if you're in a meeting or if you're in a negotiation or you want to be very polite, perhaps with a new client. Whereas if you're just talking to your friends, of course you're not formal in your English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to write lots of books for business English. And one of the things that I used to think when I was writing them is I think business English is more purposeful than normal English because there's often a job to be done. So it's about getting things done. And in fact, to do that, you often have to, oh, look, Christina's frozen. Oh, look. Oh, well, let me tell everyone. I expect Jay is going to find her now. Jay, what's happening?
Hang on, I'm going to put you back in Philadelphia for a moment here.
Okay, that's all right.
Bear with me for a moment.
Okay, and I'll tell you all about general English, about what I think, and we'll call Christina back.
Yep.
Okay, so I think business English is often a bit more purposeful because it's often about getting things done. But it's also about relationships and developing
there you go. Okay,
trust.
hang on 1 second, okay.
I think. Okay. Oh, it sounds like Christina's nearly back with us. Christina, I was just saying that I think business English relationships are really important in business English.
Yes,
So
definitely.
you've got to get on well with
relationships.
someone. We can't hear you yet, Christina.
Now we can.
Oh, great. Now we can.
Yay, okay. Right, yes, Vicki, I heard what you said, that relationships are very important. And I totally agree with you because you have to, for example, if you're going to work with a business partner, you want to make sure that you can trust this person. You want to have a good relationship. If you want to have a client, you want to be able to trust him that he's going to pay you and just be honest. So, yeah, relationships are really, really important. And I would say that business is built on relationships.
Yeah, we've got another good comment here from Mohammed. He says Mohammed, he says, you need written English as well. And that can be more formal. And that's very true, isn't it?
Yeah, this is true. And maybe that's a difference, is that in business, you do need to master the spoken aspects of English and the written aspects of English because your communication is both spoken and written. Yeah.
Absolutely. So today, everybody, we've got a sort of businessy theme to our session today. And of course, I thought that was a good idea because I had the business English expert with me, and we'll find out more about what you do later, Christina. But for those people who've just tuned in and are saying, where's Jace gone? Where's Fluency? Well, Fluency is on a plane, I think, in Italy, going to Italy at the moment. And so he sent Christina along, also in Paris, to join us instead. Fluency will be back next week, and we have a very special guest. We'll have another special guest with us next week. So stay tuned to find out who that is and what we'll be talking about. But what's next? Let's have conversation time.
Yay.
Okay, I've got a couple of conversations for you today, and they're both quite businessy. All right, in the first one you're going to see, there's Jay. Have I introduced you to Jay yet? Jay is my husband. Jay, have you said hello to everyone? I can't hear you, darling. We can't hear you.
As always, I forgot to turn my microphone on. In case I haven't said hello before, it's great to see everybody, and we're going to have lots of fun this hour.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
Jay has been working hard behind the scenes to fix all our internet problems, and he's had quite a difficult morning. But anyway, in this in this conversation, you're going to see me and Jay talking to our boss, and we're asking our boss something, and you have to listen for what are we asking our boss for, and does our boss say yes or no?
Okay,
All right?
Vicki, can I just make sure that I understood that?
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to watch the video. It's you, Jay, and your boss.
That's right.
And we have to understand what you ask your boss.
Yeah.
And if the boss accepts, like, do you get what you asked for?
Exactly. Okay, let's see that video.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Fine.
You know we're both flying to Frankfurt next month.
Yes.
Can we fly business class?
Absolutely not. The tickets would cost $5,000.
It would be worth it for such a long flight.
Business class is really comfortable.
Forget it.
Oh, well.
It was worth a try.
Okay, so the answer to whether or not she said yes or no was no, because she said
No.
absolutely not. A definite no there. But what did we ask? We asked, can we fly? And we explained it would be for such a long flight. I don't know if you caught that little expression there. And then we said, oh, well, it was and that was at the end of the conversation when she'd left. So let's look at the answers for that. I don't know if you were able to guess those missing words. And here are the missing words. So we asked, can we fly business class? And of course, business class is a very expensive way to fly. I doubt if Fluency is flying business class today, but we can ask him next week when he comes back. And notice I said it would be worth it for such a long flight. And then at the end we said, oh, well, it was worth a try. Now there's this little word worth that can be very useful in business English. And what does it mean, Christina? What's it about?
Worth, I would say that it means like it was a good investment. You know, if you say, well, it was worth a try, it's like it didn't work, but it was a good idea to ask because maybe the boss would have said yes, and if we didn't ask, we wouldn't know.
Exactly.
So
great.
Worth, it's like an investment.
Yeah, and it can be something like, because of course it could be actual money. We could say something is worth $100 or something is worth $20. But it's not just money, is it? Because there we saw it being used like an investment of time, effort, energy.
Exactly. Like
that sort
you
of
could say,
thing.
you know, is this worth my time, or is this worth the effort? You could ask questions, because you're spending money, you're spending time, or you're spending energy to do something. Yeah.
So if something is worth it, then it can be a sort of value in terms of being good and enjoyable, can't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And now, actually, I typed in the phrase "it's worth" into Google. And you know Google has an autocomplete function.
Right, yeah.
So can you guess what Google said after I said "it's worth"? And maybe some other people can guess as well. We said "it's worth," and what did Google complete that with?
$1 million?
It's worth $1 million.
It's worth $1 million.
That's a good guess. I like it. So it could be in terms of financial, a sum of money that it completed it with. Anything else it could have completed it with?
It's worth It's worth a try. That's a really common expression. Maybe
Maybe
Google
that
completed it
worked.
with worth a try.
I said that in the dialogue, in the conversation, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, it was worth a try. So that could be a good one to look out for. So Kat is suggesting, is it worth my time? It's worth my time. So that's another good one, another good guess. Well done, Katty. That's a good, very likely one. And Kat has also said, is it worth it? Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a really common expression. If you say something like, oh, well, we could try, maybe we could try to invest some money in this project. Well, I don't know, is it worth it? It's a good generic question.
Yeah. Nuha has said, you lose nothing when you're asking your boss about it. So he was talking about the conversation we just had, and he was saying you have nothing to lose. That's what we'd say. That's a really good concept there.
That is. Yeah, you have nothing to lose, so it's worth a try.
That's right. And we'll see. And Saad is suggesting for the end of this sentence, it's worth. He's suggesting it.
There you go. It's worth it. Yeah, definitely.
That's a common one.
Oh, it's really difficult and it's going to take a lot of effort. Yeah, but it's worth it.
And Cecile has said it's worth noting. That's very common.
Yeah, especially in business because you take a lot of notes like in a meeting or in a discussion. So it's worth noting, yeah.
If something is important, then it's worth noting. You want to keep that information for later. That's a good one. And okay, so let's see. Shall we see what Google said? They said
let's see.
It's worth it. So we guessed that one.
Good job.
It's worth a Google. That's an interesting one, isn't it? It doesn't take long to do a Google search, so it's worth a Google.
It's worth a Google. Interesting.
It's worth a try, but there's another one there that means very similarly to try. It's worth a shot. If you're playing baseball or if you're playing basketball, then you make a shot at the goal. So
not in baseball, Vicki.
A shot at the basket in basketball, a shot at the goal in soccer, or what you call football.
Oh, right then. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of football, but you call it soccer, don't you?
Soccer, that's right, yeah.
And it's worth the wait. So that's similar to the time one that someone else brought up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you want something good, but it takes time, but it's worth the wait.
Now, Nandish had another suggestion. He said, it's worth one's while. And that's a good one as well. If it's worth your time, it's worthwhile. And you can combine worth with while to make another word. And in fact, I've got another video where we combine worth with another word. And it makes another word. So let's see that video, and you've got to spot which word it is. All right?
I need to learn to trust you more, Vicki. How can I do that?
Ooh, we could play the trust game.
The what?
The trust game. Turn around.
Okay.
That's right. And then you fall back.
And you'll catch me.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't catch me.
I'm just not very trustworthy.
Okay. So yes, I just wasn't very trustworthy there. So the word was, did you catch it, Christina?
Trustworthy?
Trustworthy.
Trustworthy, yeah.
You were just talking about trust in business and saying it was important.
It is important. And Vicki, I think you're a trustworthy person.
Well, you'll have to ask Jay that.
Oh.
Yes, but if someone is trustworthy, then we can rely on them to do what they say they're going to do.
Right, yeah. And when you're in business, you definitely want the people that you work with to be trustworthy.
Yeah, in fact, what people in your life do you need to be trustworthy? You can tell us in the chat. Christina, who do you need in your life? Who do you need to be trustworthy?
I would say your partner, first of all. You want to be able to trust your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Maybe also your banker.
Your
I
banker
think
would
that's
be a good one.
important.
Do you think that you need to be able to trust your English teacher?
Oh, yeah, definitely, because they're the one who is teaching you how to communicate with the world, and you want to be sure that they're teaching you the right things. Yeah, definitely. But I think also maybe because I know a lot of people they like sports, and so you would want the referee to be trustworthy and that he's going to be honest when he's judging the points and the teams. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's true. So in situations like that, I wonder if
Yeah.
somebody's suggested referee, we'll look in a minute, but the referee of a game has to be trustworthy. What about the President of the United States?
Normally you want you do want someone who's trustworthy, but
You have to take what you get.
you don't always get what you want. So.
Cecile has said you want your family to be trustworthy. That's
Yeah, that's
true,
a good
isn't
point,
it?
definitely. Yeah, if you can't trust your family, who can you trust?
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned banker, but I think as well, anybody who's dealing with money
Right.
will
Yeah. And yeah,
probably want.
especially that comes back to the business context. If it's a client or a supplier or your boss who's paying you at the end of the month, you want them to be honest and you want them to be trustworthy.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Saad has said, I would have done what you did to Jay if somebody questioned my trust in them.
So to show them.
You'd be mean to them then, Saad.
He's saying you shouldn't question my trust. You know I'm a trustworthy person.
But yes, Kate is pointing out that, it's about people being reliable, about keeping their word and doing what they say they're going to do. And that's very important in business English, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely because you want to be able to trust someone. And if they say that they're going to do something, you want to be able to know that they're going to do it without having to check them all the time. This is for example, a manager wants their employees to be trustworthy as well.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cecile's mentioned she'd like her doctor to be trustworthy.
Definitely, definitely. That's very important.
Okay. Now, what should we do next? Should we play a game?
Oh, yeah, let's play a game.
Let's play a game, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, today's game is an old classic game called What's My Line? And line isn't a straight line in this context. It means something else. Christina, what does it mean?
I think here we're going to talk about jobs. Isn't that right?
That's right. So
Yeah.
It's a game about jobs and occupations. And what's going to happen is I'm going to mime a job. So use my hands, but say nothing. And then you have to guess what the job is. And you need to ask me questions, but you can only ask questions where the answer is yes, no, or maybe, or perhaps. All right?
So only yes, no questions. So, for example, I could say, do you work in an office?
That's right. And because
Okay.
the answer is yes or no, I'll give you the answer. So everybody type your questions in the chat and I'll start, all right? And I'll do my mime now. Are you ready? Okay.
Okay, let's go. Let's see. Do you have to write in your job?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you work in a restaurant?
Oh, good guess. No, I don't work in a restaurant. Definitely not. I might go there in my break times.
Ah, okay. Do you work in an office?
No, I don't.
Oh, let's see. Do you work outside, like outdoors?
Ah, yes, I
Ah.
work outside. I
Okay.
work outside and I work in all weathers as well. So when it's hot
Oh.
or when it's cold, I'm still working outside.
Ah, are you a painter?
Oh, good guess. No, I'm not a
No,
painter.
no.
I'm not a
No, a
painter.
painter doesn't work when it's raining outside.
Shall we check the chat and see
Yeah,
if
let's see.
anybody's got any suggestions for us yet? There's often a little delay.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's still talking about some things. And they're saying the lady on the right looks like she's... This is not related to the game. but Singizan says the lady on the right looks like she's photoshopped.
She's photoshopped.
Do I look
Oh.
unreal?
So, yeah.
It's
well, maybe-
unreal.
yeah. Oh, let's see, Vicki. Here's a good question. Do you sit or stand up? This is a question from Singizan.
Ah, do I sit or stand up? I stand up. I rarely sit in my job.
So you stand up, you work outdoors in all weather,
Yeah.
and you have to write.
Yes, that's right.
Are you a... Nanda says traffic police. Are you a police officer?
Oh, he's so good. It's very, very close. I am a kind of traffic police, something to
You're-
do with traffic police, but you have to guess what it is.
Yes, you are a ticket agent. You write tickets.
I write parking tickets. Would you
Yes.
call it a ticket agent?
I would call it a ticket.
We
or
call it a meter maid.
parking police. Yeah.
Okay.
Or meter maid.
Now, this is a British and American English difference, everyone. I would call it a traffic warden. A
Oh,
traffic
I would never
warden.
say that.
But that's what it is in British English. We might have a photo of one. I don't know. Have we got one, Jane?
No, we do not.
Okay, right.
Okay. Oh, well,
And
you can imagine.
yeah, you can imagine. I would have been wearing a hat, and I should have given you some clues. Like a lot of people don't like me.
Oh, yeah. But I say those people are just doing their job. So, you're the meter maid.
Oh, somebody's asked, am I a gardener? Jardinière, Catty, would be a gardener. And postwoman, it was
Postwoman.
another suggestion, but no, yes, and Catherine's got it right. The person who gives fines to cars parked badly. Absolutely.
that was your job.
FYI, postwoman in the U.S. would be mail carrier.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
in American English, that's another one where there's
That's
a difference.
good point. Yeah, mail carrier.
Okay, great. So, Christina, have you got a mime for me?
My turn. I do have a mime for you.
Excellent. Okay.
You ready?
So write your questions for me in the chat. When she's done her mime, write your
All right,
questions in the chat for me to ask her.
Here's my mime. Okay, Vicki.
Okay, the first question. I'm sure you were driving. Do you drive in your job?
Yes, I do drive.
Excellent. Okay, and you know, I kept thinking of McDonald's and going through.
No, I am not a professional drive-through driver.
Do you professionally drive through McDonald's drive-throughs? No, you don't.
No, I do not. But I do drive.
That
in
would
my
be a
job.
very strange job. Okay, and you were
would be.
glancing up above, maybe to the mirror or something like that. So, here's a question.
Yeah.
Do you drive cars in your job?
No, I do not drive a car.
Ah, so that's perhaps a good clue for us, everybody. Write your questions in the. So this is somebody who drives something, but they're not a car driver, and they go to
Exactly.
McDonald's a lot.
Yes.
So you seem to be talking to people outside the
Right.
window, and yet you were driving something. Were you driving a big piece of machinery like a steamroller?
Not a steamroller, but it is something big.
Okay, so something big we want that you're driving. Any
Yes.
suggestions? Catty is saying, are you in a bus?
Yeah, and I think Cecile said also, are you a bus driver? Yes, I was a bus driver. Very good.
Okay, are you ready for the next one?
Okay, let's go.
I'll go for another one. Oh, look, there's a bus
no,
I've got a
driver.
picture.
driver. That was me.
So what were you doing looking out the window? Were you going into McDonald's to get a hamburger at lunchtime?
No, I was welcoming the people who were getting on the bus.
Oh, yes.
I'm a polite bus driver.
Okay, right. I've got another one for you.
Okay.
All right.
Not so easy, this one. Let me think. Are you making something?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I'm not making anything. That was a good
Okay.
question, though.
Okay, good. Let's see. So you're not making anything. Do you work in a store?
No, not a store.
Okay. Do you have contact with the public?
One at a time.
Okay.
So I
you-
have contact with people in the public, but only one at a time.
Okay. So are you some type of clerk?
No, I'm
No.
not a clerk.
Okay. Do you work in medicine?
Oh, yes, I do work in medicine.
Are you a doctor?
A kind of doctor.
Okay. Are you a nurse?
No, I'm not.
Do you work in a
let's-
hospital?
I do work in a hospital. Absolutely.
okay.
Let's see if somebody's... And somebody said, are you sewing something? Andrea asked, are you sewing something? Yes, Andrea, I was sewing something.
Oh, okay. Oh, that really helps. Thank you, Andrea, for that question.
Cecile said, are you a needle
surgeon?
woman? Yeah,
A needle.
I am. I was a surgeon. Yes.
So you're sewing someone back up
That's
after
right.
the operation.
First of all, I was taking them to bits and moving things around inside, and then I was
right, as
sewing them
surgeons
up.
do.
Yes, as surgeons do. All surgeons do this, don't they?
Of course.
Okay, have you got another one for me?
Yes, I do,
Oh,
actually.
before we go on to it, somebody said, what does clerk mean? And I say clerk. Do you say clerk?
No, you say Clark.
Oh,
Vic.
I say clerk.
You've been in
I was
the US
getting
too
muddled
long,
between
Vicki.
British and American. There's somebody who works with lots of papers, usually in some kind of administrative function. You might have a ticket clerk when you go to buy a ticket at the train station, at the railway station.
Right.
But they're working with papers and doing administrative functions. Okay, so Christina, have you got another job for
Yes.
me? Okay, good.
Yes, I do. Ready?
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
Christina, that's so easy. You're a
Aw.
hairdresser.
Yes, that's so easy. There you go. That's me as a hairdresser. I look much more I look trendier as a hairdresser.
That's so easy. I was wondering, well, could it be something like, is she a particular kind of hairdresser? Does she cut wigs or things like this?
Cut, yeah. No, I was just gonna write. I'm not as qualified to be a fancy hairdresser. I just cut hair.
I'm sure we're going to get some people guessing that one. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
That was easy, yeah.
And in fact, let me just check this. Oh, somebody's asking, Christina, if
Yes.
you have a YouTube channel too.
Oh, yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. Let me put that in the chat real quick. It's
Okay, you can put it in the chat and I'll put it in the link because the chat will disappear, Christina.
okay.
So
My channel, it's Speak English with Christina.
That's right. And I'll make sure that I put it in the details for this video. And you need to check it out, guys, because they're great videos that she makes.
Aw. Thanks, Vicki.
And there are they've often got a businessy flavour to them, haven't they? But some of them are also very normal, general English too. So things like you've done a lot of work with small talk, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, I do a lot of videos on small talk and everyday vocabulary, because when you're doing business, you also need to talk about your family, your weekend, and things like that to help to build those relationships. Earlier, we talked about creating relationships with people, and I help people to do that.
Absolutely. And so, what have we got next? What's next? We've played a game. I think what we need now is a jazz chant.
Sounds good.
We haven't got Fluency here to rap for us, but Fluency will be back next week, everyone. And we've also have a special guest with us, so hold on to find out about that. But we've got, for you today, we've got a special jazz chant, or kind of rap, actually. And it's got a businessy flavour. I think another thing that typifies business English things is they're often about the future. And so what we've got here is a rap where you're going to hear someone making arrangements about the future. And you have to guess who is the performer here. All right, I'm not going to tell anyone who it is, and we'll see if anybody knows. If you know, write in the chat. And we'll look at the vocabulary and we'll practice it in a minute. But first of all, let's see the jazz chant.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
When are you arriving? Shall we meet on Sunday? What about Monday? When would suit you? When are you arriving? Can you meet on Sunday? What about Monday? When would suit you? Can you meet on Monday? I can do Tuesday. I can't do Tuesday. What about Wednesday? I'm busy Wednesday. I can't manage Wednesday. What about Thursday? I can't do Thursday. How about Friday? I can manage Friday. Yes, Friday works. Okay, see you Friday. Okay, see you Friday. Okay, see you Friday. Okay, Friday works.
Okay, everybody, did you recognise the person, or can you guess who the person in that performing that rap was? And let's have a quick look at some of the language here. Some of this language is quite British English, because of course I'm British English, and we'll talk about some of the differences between British and American later. Because Christina, would you say, shall we meet on Sunday?
No, I would never say, shall we meet on Sunday?
But we could
and if
in
I
British
did,
English.
my American friends would say, why are you talking so funny? Right.
What would you say in American English?
I would probably say something like, do you want to meet on Sunday?
Oh, yes.
Or
okay.
just, how about Sunday?
How
Or
about
why don't we
Sunday?
meet on Sunday?
Can we get together on Sunday?
Can we get together on Sunday? Yeah, definitely, Jay.
We could say both of those things actually in British English as well. But we'd also say, shall we meet? And another thing we might say in British English is Sunday convenient for you? And I don't think you'd say that either.
Nope, way too formal for most everyday American conversations. We would say something like, does Sunday work for you?
Does Sunday work for you? Good. Or is
Yeah.
Sunday good for you? Something
Is
like
Sunday
that, I
good
think.
for you? Yeah.
In American English. Whereas in
Exactly.
British English, it's quite formal when we say convenient in British English, but you'll hear people saying it. And
Yeah.
if something
we,
is...
we might, Vicki, if I could just add, we might write it, if you're writing an email even to someone who you don't know so well, like maybe a boss or a future client, we might use convenient in a written form.
Good point. And that's true in British English as well, because emails, as somebody's pointed out in the chat, is quite possibly a little bit more formal. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
And,
definitely.
So, and then we've got, when would suit you? I think that's another British one, isn't it? When would suit you? And both, is it convenient? Does it suit you? Suit
Yeah.
and convenient here both mean, is it comfortable? Is it good for you? Is it,
Yeah.
is it going to cause no trouble for you?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, we would, like I said earlier, those expressions, do you want to meet? Is Sunday okay? Does Sunday work for you? These things.
Okay, now, Christina, normally when I have Fluency here, he will wrap this and I'll repeat. But this time he's not with me, so I'm going to have to do the wrapping. Can you repeat for me? And
I can repeat.
Great. And everybody at home, please repeat after us. We're going to do it 2 or 3 lines together each time, all right? And I'm going to do it quite fast, okay? And you're going to get this practiced, and then afterwards you'll be able to do it alongside the rap itself. So let's go then. When are you arriving? Shall we meet on Sunday?
When are you arriving? Shall we meet on Sunday?
What about Monday? When would suit you?
What about Monday? When would suit you?
When are you arriving? Can you meet on Sunday?
When are you arriving? Can you meet on Sunday?
What about Monday? When would suit you?
What about Monday? When would suit you?
Great. Can you meet on Monday? I can do Tuesday.
Can you meet on Monday? I can do Tuesday.
I can't do Tuesday. What about Wednesday?
I can't do Tuesday. What about Wednesday?
I'm busy Wednesday. I can't manage Wednesday. What about Thursday?
I'm busy Wednesday. I can't manage Wednesday. What about Thursday?
I can't do Thursday. How about Friday?
I can't do Thursday. How about Friday?
I can manage Friday. Yes, Friday works.
I can manage Friday. Yes, Friday works.
Great. Then I think that we are ready to rap alongside them on time with the music. Are you ready, everyone? Let's go.
Yay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
When are you arriving? Shall we meet on Sunday? What about Monday? When would suit you? When are you arriving? Can you meet on Sunday? What about Monday? When would suit you? Can you meet on Monday? I can do Tuesday. I can't do Tuesday. What about Wednesday? I'm busy Wednesday. I can't manage Wednesday. What about Thursday? I can't do Thursday. How about Friday? I can manage Friday. Yes, Friday works. Okay, see you Friday. Okay, see you Friday. Okay, see you Friday. Okay, Friday works.
Okay. Can anyone guess who's... No, we've had no guesses yet for who is performing the rap. Though somebody has said Will Tad. Is Will Tad a person? I just don't know them. Who is Will Tad?
No, Will Tad is the name of the person, Vicki.
Oh.
And Will Tad was guessing that it was you who was rapping.
No, who was in the video? Did anyone guess? Did they look like me? That's your clue. They should look like me because they're a relation of mine. And Cecile is saying she doesn't remember. Okay. If you don't know, that's my son, Tom. And Tom is also an English teacher. So when he was in Philadelphia, we got him to make that little rap for us in front of the green screen. And then I think he was working in Dubai, and I was lucky enough to go and stay with him there. And we filmed him dancing in Dubai.
Oh. That's so funny, Vicki, because it's like mother, like son. He makes videos and he teaches English just like you.
He does make videos, but they're not rap videos, actually. I'll put a link to his channel. I think it's called True Life English. And I'll put a link to his channel down below. And he does lots of phrasal verb videos as well.
Those are always so useful, phrasal verbs.
And they're very funny. Obviously, I'm his mother, so I'm very biased. But I think they're fantastic. And so check them out, everybody. I'll put a link in the details.
Definitely.
We'll have to wait for this video to publish, but after that, there'll be a link there and you can go and check him out. And I'm also going to put all the links to contact Christina again.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Vicki.
And Christina, we're so glad you could come and join us.
Oh, I'm so glad that you could come and join us. Yeah, well, join me over here in France, even though maybe we had some problems. Did you get your visa, Vicki, to come visit Europe?
I think that must have been the problem, that my visa wasn't working, and that's why we had to start the show late.
That was it. Well, but anyway, you made it, and we could have the show together. And thank you for having me. It was really, really a pleasure.
It was great. It was so nice of you. What happened was Fluency was planning to be here, and then he realised they changed the time of something his job on Monday, and he realised he'd be on a flight to Italy instead. And Christina said, "No problem, I can do it."
No problem. I can do it. Yeah, it's very American. We can do it.
What a good friend. What a good friend.
Oh,
Everybody needs friends like that. And I think that's another thing, actually, about business English, isn't it? Having people who say, yes, I can help.
Definitely. You want people who are, enthusiastic and motivated to help you succeed in your business as well. And that's, we talked about relationships earlier. And yeah, relationships are really important for business and for your personal life.
So, look, guys, some important information about next week. Because the times are going to change across in America. We're going to spring forward and put our clocks forward for summertime. Now, the same thing is going to happen in Europe in a lot of places, but not for another couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so,
we're later. We're after the US.
That's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay on Philadelphia time. So this is New York time. The show will be at 11 o'clock next week. Again, well, Jay's going to work on that to make sure that the internet works for us. But the show should start at 11 o'clock next week, Philadelphia or New York time. And so that could be an hour earlier, depending on where you are in the world. So just check the times for next week. And another important bit of information for next week is, guess who we've got on the show?
I know. And it's a really exciting guest.
Fluency will be back. But here's our guest. Can we show everyone, Jay? Here you are. Do you recognise who this is? Normally, you just hear her voice. But next week, you're actually going to see her as well. And her name is Shayna Oliveira. And she is, you know her, I'm sure a lot of you know her, from Espresso English. and she has a fantastic YouTube channel and lots of good videos. And we're going to be working with her next week, and she's going to be talking about mistakes and how we can fix mistakes. So it's going to be a really useful show. So make sure you come back and join us.
That's going to be a really interesting show, because Shayna's lessons they're fantastic. And mistakes, everybody makes mistakes when they're learning a language, but we can learn from our mistakes.
Absolutely. So come back next week to find out how you can learn from your mistakes with Shayna. And we need to say goodbye to Jay. Jay, where are you?
I'm right here. What were you saying? What was that?
Okay, so we're going to learn how to fix mistakes with Shayna next week. And make sure that you join the English Show Facebook group, everyone. And also sign up for my mailing list, and that way I can notify you when we're going live with a new show.
And you get to the mailing list on simpleenglishvideos.com, right?
I'll put a link down below, so check the details down below, and you can click a button and just sign up for it. So all that good stuff's going to be there, and I think we're done, Christina. I think that's it.
I think we're done. Oh, Vicki, can I just say something? Can
Yeah.
Just say to people that about mistakes. If you want to correct your mistakes, and if you're a French speaker, I do have a book. It's called What the Foot, and it's a book to help you correct 32 of the most common mistakes in English. And if you go to my website, which is ChristinaRebuffet.com, then you can find all the information. It's especially for French speakers, but you can also see some video lessons on my site, and those are for everybody.
Fantastic. Well worth watching. Make sure you check out Christina's videos. And we've got a book called Fix It that I'll put details to below, which is correcting common mistakes as well. But make sure you come back next week, because then you'll learn more about it. So everybody, it's all that's to be done now is to say goodbye. Bye-bye, everyone. Cheerio now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.